ready?
I guess so.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Press X Podcast, episode 32, your weekly podcast for nerdy news and opinions coming at you each and every Monday at noon Eastern. I am Kevin McManus. With me, as always, Kellen Millard.
What's up?
Oh, not too much.
Nice shirt.
Really?
Wrong team, but nice shirt.
Team Instinct's the best team.
It's the worst team?
It's the best team. It's by far the most popular team here.
I'm sorry.
Like around here is probably 60% Instinct, probably 30% Mystic, and then once in a while you'll see a Valor.
Well, I'd take them anytime I see them.
And I go to like any other town, there's no Instinct anywhere.
No.
Yeah, we just live in an Instinct heavy place.
You just get closer to me and it goes away evenly.
Yeah.
You don't have to go far.
I do like it. Instinct's got Zapdos, I like Zapdos.
He's alright.
I like yellow better than
He's better than Moltres.
blue. Blue's a better color than yellow.
Yeah, obviously. That's okay. No questions though.
Today we're going to be talking about Final Fantasy 15. We got some unfortunate news, probably.
Most likely.
We got a PlayStation event coming up that we're going to talk about. We'll talk a little bit about Quantum Break. We're not going to harp on it too much, but
Yeah.
it's an alright news week. It's alright.
So,
Yeah. But first I want to start with what we're playing. What have you been playing?
nothing.
Alright.
I finished Halo 2. The game's still really good.
You're going down the list.
That upres is gorgeous.
Yes.
It's a very good remaster.
It's the best one. I love the button that you can like switch between the two.
I didn't actually do that. I forgot it was in there.
Oh, it's actually nice. Sometimes I switch just to like see stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's way brighter.
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
Yeah,
to differentiate stuff.
But also there's some Easter eggs, like they changed some things to posters and stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah. They were really good. Review. On Halo 3, the game's still fun.
3's good.
3's very good.
It's about to go downhill for you.
Unfortunately, yes. Other than that.
It's really it.
Yeah. Little league. The usual.
Yeah, no one cares about
The
it.
usual suspects.
Nobody cares about it. Except for like the 20 billion
The
people
most popular game in the world.
watch League. But they're terrible people anyway.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
I played, obviously, Pokemon Go.
Well, yeah.
Got my Alakazam, my second favorite Pokemon of all time.
And then got another Alakazam.
Yeah, so I heard there was a spot that spawns Abras, which Abra, super rare, super
Wait, I
annoying to
can't find
find.
but like 2.
Yeah, I think I found like 3 or 4 up to this point, and I've had multiple ones run away.
Yeah.
And I went to this park that there was apparently Abras. We parked, got out of the car, and I looked on my nearby, 3 Abras. And I was like, oh!
Nice.
So I went and I only got like 1 of them, they were disappearing and stuff. And I was like, well, that was cool, but 2 more! And they just won. I was there for 2 hours, and I think I got 80 candy or something like that. I was able to make my Alakazam. He's not great, he's like a 900 and something. I'm gonna go back there and just
He'll get really good.
get candies and power him up.
He gets good offensive reaction, not defensively.
Yeah, he's one of the strongest for attacking gyms.
Yeah.
I hatched a Chansey.
Nice.
It's one of the best for defending gyms.
Yeah, because our health is good.
And then the next day, I was out. We were driving around, and there's an Alakazam nearby, and I caught him. So I have 2
Ran
Alakazams
into a
now.
wild Alakazam.
Yeah, so I kind of wasted my time, but the wild one sucked. So
Well, you still need the candy with it.
yeah. I platinumed Dark Cloud.
Finally.
So it was pretty funny. I got to the end of the dungeon and got ready to beat the boss, and I need 1 more trophy besides beating the final boss, and that trophy was use the steal ability on a weapon. So this game is completely procedural. It was a PS2 game, way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Completely procedural dungeons. The bad guys, like it'll have the same bad guys on each level, but where they are is completely different. What treasure chests are there, what's in the treasure chests, all that stuff completely random. And if you redo a floor, it'll be flipped again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like it remembers what it was. I looked on the trophy list, 70% of people have this trophy. I couldn't get it. So you need a bandit weapon. Those are the weapons that steal. And I was doing the floors that hand out the bandit weapon for hours and could not get this dumb weapon that 70% of people that played this game have this trophy. It was so annoying. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I guess I'm just gonna get to the final boss. And I went and I played to the final boss, still didn't have it. I went back, I was doing like the low level dungeons, because you get it early on.
Yeah.
And every time I got to a treasure chest, like the big chest that could have the weapons in it, I opened it up, I'm like, please just have the thing. And it was a slingshot, and I was like, oh, is that it? And it's like the Steve or whatever weapon it was. I'm like, damn it. That's not the bandit one. So like I put on a podcast, I played it for hours until I finally got one. and I shot one thing with it and it triggered. I said, thank God. So I platinum that game.
That's awesome.
Really good. I think that's a super underrated PS2 game.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite PS2 games for sure.
Heard a lot of good things about it.
Played more Virtue's Last Reward. Really like this game. I'm just gonna buy it at this point. I like it too much. The branching stories that we were talking about last week. I finished one of the branches and I'm going through it again now, and I don't know if I'm gonna be totally different and just try to pick
Completely different stuff.
Yeah, do like a completely different one, or if I want to pick the same one and just change one thing.
Try it a little different.
I haven't decided which way I'm gonna go with that.
Oh, completely different.
One of the decisions we made early, I was not a fan of.
Well, then don't make it.
I voted against this decision and got outnumbered by the group. I wanted the nurse on our team.
No.
Or at least like the person who seemed like it was a nurse.
Like
they knew medical stuff. And I was like, I want her on our team.
You can't trust anybody that knows medical stuff.
That's not who we picked.
Yeah, good choice.
You guys are the worst. You're like, ooh, look at her.
Yeah, take that one.
So anyway, really, really, really like that game. I'm probably gonna, once I finish my No Man's Sky stuff, which we'll talk about in a minute, I'm probably gonna play that game through, and then I would like to play the sequel that came out like last month or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be really good, which I completely believe. And then let's talk about No Man's Sky for a little bit. That was the last thing that I've been playing.
Okay.
Going to be reviewing this game. Hopefully my review will be out by Wednesday, I would say.
This week.
This is by far the hardest game I've ever had to review. I don't know how you review something where they literally made
Everybody's different.
an infinite possibility of things that can happen. I'm like, I don't know how to review that, but we'll see how it goes. So I played it way more than you have. You just started playing, and I wanted you to get an idea for it because you haven't had time in the Steam release and all that
Because the
stuff.
Steam release got pushed back, and I haven't got to touch it yet.
Yeah, so you played a little on PS4 at least. So what were your early impressions?
I like it. It's fun.
Mhm.
It's humongous.
Yeah.
Just what those small, tiny portions of it I've seen.
It's so cool that when you're in space and you're flying to a planet, it's like, you'll arrive in an hour and 22 minutes. It's like, all right. I guess I should use my warp drive or whatever and get
Or
closer.
you walk off for a couple minutes and you're hitting the space station.
You flew at the space station, got
It
up.
said it had 1 minute and 40 seconds. I don't think that was accurate.
And then I was on the computer and I leaned over because I heard something, and you just crashed into the space station and you were flipping through space. And I was like, well, that wasn't good.
I learned you're not supposed to shoot stuff.
Yeah, you're way more aggressive than I am.
Oh yeah, come on.
I don't kill anything.
I kill everything.
I have the animals as pets.
I had tried to make the one watermelon looking thing a pet, but
Yeah, that was my favorite. You played it on not my account. You started on a different account.
Yeah.
And the animals and stuff you had were totally different than mine. I liked your animals better.
I don't like the, what are those things called? The drones that shoot at you?
The sentinels.
Yeah, they're annoying.
Yeah, well.
Unless you mine them.
I haven't had too many problems with the sentinels. The only time I really got attacked by one was the reinforced door, when you have to shoot down reinforced stuff.
Yeah,
they always come at
6 at me.
Yeah, you have a wanted level. You got your wanted level higher than I ever did because I don't do stuff like that.
Don't shoot the turrets on the big ships. Didn't like that.
That was also, you've made a lot of not smart decisions.
That's how you figure out stuff. This seems dumb. I'll try it. See what happens.
I'm kind of the trader. That's probably not the best.
Yeah, you're a trader.
Yeah. I like to just buy things and then resell things and go mine, like find planets that have rare
You're a
materials.
businessman.
Yeah, I like making the monies in the games. I'm up to like 3 million units. There was a ship I saw that was 3.3 million. I really want to find it again because I want to buy that. Inventory space is super limited in the game, and having a ship with a lot of inventory space helps a whole lot.
Big advantage.
As far as going into the game, I knew like a couple pointers, and I really think that they're useful. The first point, I didn't really tell you any of them because I wanted to see
I didn't know
how
either. I didn't really want to either. So.
But the first thing is like, don't kill stuff early. It's just harder to. The reward isn't worth it. Basically,
I disagree. I almost died like 3 times in the first 20 minutes.
The second one is alternate your jetpack and running. That was a big one. You have limited jetpack, you have limited running. There's also some weird things, like you can melee with R1. And
Yeah, I kept hitting that. I was like, it looks like a dash. And I was like, I bet it's a melee.
Yeah, if you run and do it, you do like a dash. And then apparently if you run, do it, dash, and jet boost, you do like a jet forward. I haven't actually tried it yet, but I read that. There's, I don't want to say story, but there's
There are semi-story.
No, yeah, there's a story. I just for like pointers. There is it gives you kind of advice on an order of operations to do things, and it tries to teach you. So I would suggest following that at first, like saying you want help,
you get the hang of it,
and it'll kind of explain how the game works. And other than that, once you start flying to your 6th, 7th planet, like you use the warp drive and everything, then you start figuring out, and that's when you run into things that you're like, this is different.
Yeah.
And that's when the game's really cool, when you run into things that you haven't seen before. Like you fly to a different planet and you're like, what the hell is going on here?
What is all this shit?
Yeah, I did one, I warp drive and I landed right in the middle of a war. Whoa. I landed right in the middle of a war, and there's just like lasers shooting everywhere. I was like, oh crap, I gotta get out of here.
leave.
But yeah.
No, you get out and you just join a side. You're like, alright, I'm fine with these guys.
You can do that if you want. That's the thing, the game is just totally free as far as like what you want to do, and you build it the way that you want to, and I really liked that.
I think I'm gonna end up being like a mercenary. Just get that feeling.
Probably. Yeah, I don't doubt it.
I like this idea of being a space pirate.
Yeah, it's cool. I really want to get to the center and then go back to my first planet, which would suck, but I want to go back to my first planet after getting to the center, and then like 100% my first planet. Because you can, when you start scanning things and naming things, it tells you like what percentage of the species you found on that planet, and I want to 100% my planet McManus. My first one.
Just gonna number them.
I thought about doing that. I thought about naming it first stop, second stop, third stop, and like going all the way until I made it, but I didn't do it from the start, and now it's too late.
First base, second base, third base,
Sure.
Keep going.
Yeah, I like the game way more than I thought I would. Some people vary like on it. I think we'll talk about it a little later. I think that had to do with what people thought the game was versus what the game
pretty
actually
much
is.
exactly what I thought it would be.
It's pretty much what I thought it would be
close.
as well, but it holds my attention way more than I get more lost in it than I thought.
That's fair.
I really like it though.
Yeah.
I should have a review by the end of the week. It's going to be a difficult one. I do numbered reviews now. I don't know how to number this one. They created a universe. I don't know how that works. Well, I have to think about it, but
Good luck.
yeah. Having a lot of fun with that Sky. And one thing that I am going to put in my review, I think everybody who can play this game, whether like you rent it or you go to a friend's house or you buy it or whatever, you should definitely play it for a few hours, just because there's really nothing like it, like that. It's this big and stuff, and it's cool just to see the scale of something.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
That's neat.
Really,
especially if you go to the galactic map, you can zoom out and like see how far you are, and it tells you how many light years and stuff away.
Yeah,
it's insane. I really like it. So let's talk about some news.
Okay.
This one just broke yesterday, and we may have confirmation by the time this podcast goes live.
Yeah, I just heard it last night.
I think it's true, but we'll see. Final Fantasy 15 seems to have been delayed. Basically, a GameStop CEO was talking about it. They were told to like put stickers and stuff over the dates on all of their posters, and it seems like it's being moved to November 29th. At least that's the rumored date it's going to be moved to. And I think they said that the official like day that they're allowed to put out like the new posters or whatever is either on the 14th or the 19th of August, one of those.
Yeah.
So do we think Final Fantasy 15 got delayed again?
Probably. It really sucked if it did.
Yeah.
Especially after their huge ceremony.
That's why it's so weird. They put such a big emphasis.
Push the button. No.
Yeah, they.
Come on.
What was it? GameSpot pushed the button early or something like that.
They released like that. Somebody already pushed the button.
That was funny. But yeah, this is not good if it's true.
Yeah, if it's true.
This is really bad news, because not only does it hurt like the expectations of that, because they did do that huge event where they're like, and we have an anime, and we have a movie, and we have all this stuff to get people excited, and everybody's ready for it.
Yeah.
But it, to me, makes me feel like Kingdom Hearts, which is supposed to come out in December and doesn't have a specific release date, is also not going to make it, and like all the stuff. I'm like, oh, this is not a good chain of events.
Yeah.
I do think it's true though, just because of following games like Mighty No. 9 and No Man's Sky that have had a lot of delays, just like Final Fantasy 15 has. Every time there's a rumor, they're like, it's been delayed, and people are like, no, blah, blah, blah. A week later, it's always like, yeah, it has.
Yeah, it was
it's like, God damn it. So, I do think that this has been delayed. I think it's unfortunate, because
now it's in a much more crowded time frame.
It's not for me. It's actually a better time frame for me, but it is around the Pokemon game that I wanted to play.
It is around both the Pokemon games that I pre-ordered, so yeah.
Oh, did you get like the Steelbook?
I found the Steelbook on Amazon and pre-ordered, yeah. I've got this on
So I don't know how to feel about it coming out in November. And my main problem with it is it comes out the end of November, and the beginning of December is where all the games that I want to play are coming
Yeah,
out.
that's my issue.
That's kind of my problem. So
like, I might actually cancel that pre-order now. If that seems like being true.
yeah, it's really unfortunate. I'm not super hyped on the game anyway. I'm kind of like whatever.
Kind of meh.
But it does suck. I don't know if I'd prefer it in September, but
I would. I definitely would.
I probably would too. Because I think that most of the stuff coming out in September is like smaller things that will only take a few hours to beat. This would be a good meaty game to play.
Yeah, there's a couple sports games that I looked at. We may not get this year, and like the new Forza Horizon, I kind of want to in September. A couple things like that.
Yeah, not stuff that like
Nothing
you have to
crazy.
dedicate 40 hours to or whatever those games you know. So
Yeah, there was like Gears and beating October. We had like 2 weeks before that or something. So
yeah, I don't think I need to play the other Gears.
yeah, you do. They're really good. I like them.
Bought one.
I have all three of them. Never played it. I have all of them.
Should probably play.
Yeah, they're great co-op. We should do that.
You don't have to remaster, do you?
No, not yet.
Yeah, it's not that expensive. You can probably get it for like $10.
Probably.
Lots of PlayStation news this week. This one is interesting. Apparently, PlayStation VR is going to have like mandatory demos. So all the VR games will have 5-minute demos. It'll be a requirement so that you can see how comfortable you are playing
If you
the
can
game.
handle it, kind of thing.
This is the best idea I think I've heard in the past like 3 years.
That's a great idea. I never thought about that.
I'm so happy that if this is true, that they would require demos because things like rigs. I'm interested in rigs. I want to play rigs. I think rigs will make me sick.
I want to see that.
See me get sick playing rigs?
A little bit, yeah.
I think it'll make me sick, so I don't want to buy the $50 PlayStation VR game that might make me sick. You give me a demo,
Give me a 5-minute demo.
I can see how I feel. If I feel motion sick after it, I won't get the game. If I feel fine, I'll pick up the game.
Try your game, yeah.
It seems awesome just for, because there's so many different types of VR. There's VR where, like Resident Evil 7, where you're walking in the game and that makes people really sick, not having control over the walking.
Yeah.
There's the ones that are like Batman, where it's really slow walking. There's ones where you're kind of in a seat, like a Valkyrie type thing, and there's a whole bunch of different levels. And then there's ones where you're not actually anything, like Super Hypercube, where it's just like a puzzle game, where you're the third-person camera in, you know, Lucky Scale or whatever. So I think it's a really good idea to give demos because this is definitely one of the first things that I can think of besides like PG-13 R, where there is a different scale and people are going to kind of fall somewhere on that scale.
Maybe something you want to try, but once you don't want to buy it right off the bat.
It reminds me a lot of, I have a 3D TV, and
I'm sorry.
I love my 3D TV. I would watch it, and my dad would watch it with me, and there's a 1 through 10 scale. It's actually 0 and then to 5 and then negative. But anyway, and you can change the like depth of the 3D. And I like mine on like 3 or whatever it was. But when I put it to 4, it's blurry for me. And when I put it to 5, it's insane. But my dad was watching it, and he watches it on 5. Like, he can see the 5 perfectly fine. And my brother watches it, and he just gets sick instantly. And my sister watches it, and she likes it at like the 1, you know? So everybody's different. And this kind of reminds me of that, like, how much can you take, how motion sick can you know what I mean? So giving everybody 5-minute chunk of the game, I like it.
It's a good idea.
It's a great idea. Hopefully it's all true.
Hopefully that works out.
And if they give you like the demo of the London heist and all that stuff, the PSVR worlds or whatever, it may make me want to buy that too if I like
You
what I
may
see.
realize there's something in there that's actually worth that price tag. I like it.
Let's keep with the PlayStation news. A PlayStation event has been announced.
Oh yeah?
September 7th, they are going to be hosting a PlayStation event. We don't know what's there. It's going to be PlayStation Neo. So the rumor is they're going to announce the Neo, explain what it is. We don't know if this is going to be like, here's hardware, here's a few games, buy, or if this is going to be a full-blown like, here's the new console and here's God of War on the new console. Here's Horizon here, like, and it's going to be more like a press conference, like a full press conference. I'm sure we'll figure out when it's coming. which doesn't look like October anymore.
No, there's no way. That would be funny though if it was.
Yeah, we'll talk about that for a minute. When do we think this is coming? Do we think they flinched because of Microsoft now?
I think they're going to try and match the 4K Xbox.
The Scorpio?
Next year, yeah. Holiday next year. I think that's a good idea for them.
I wouldn't doubt it. I think the Neo is going to be weaker than the Scorpio.
The Scorpio sounded rather impressive.
Yeah, I think it's going to be weaker than the Scorpio. I also think it's going to be hundreds of dollars less than the Scorpio.
Also possible.
I wouldn't mind, I think I said it before, I wouldn't mind if the Neo is just the new PlayStation and you phase out the old PlayStation. Yeah. I think that's a fine way to do it.
You just call it the PS4 Neo, that's just what you go to.
And you release it on with this $400 price tag that the old one had and you phase out the old one.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. We talked about backwards compatibility. If they add that, then I will actually buy one. That's probably the only thing they can do to make me buy one because I don't care about better graphics or frame rate for my console game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like they wanted to release this earlier, and I think Microsoft may have scared them a little bit.
Yeah, the Scorpio was a little surprising and impressive
to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, more so that I still think this is a bad idea, and I still think this is a huge marketing problem where they're gonna come out and be like, this thing's better than the thing that you've had, even though for the past X amount of years, every PlayStation you've had it for like 10 years, these 10-year chunks.
Yeah.
And this one, now we're kind of outdating your console. And they'll they'll say, you know, the old games work, whatever, but like you go to E3 next year, all the footage is going to be on the new one.
Everything's going to be on the new one.
What's it look like on the old one? It's going to be a problem.
They're going to show you everything on the newest technology they have.
Yeah, it's going to be. I have no clue how they're going to pull it, unless they can do something like it does something that the other ones don't that would make it worth upgrading to. Besides just a little better,
just some little more graphics and more processing power.
Yeah, and then the online play problem, where like some people will just have a better console.
Yeah, that's not as big a problem as you think. Though.
If the frame rate and stuff's different,
yeah, it'll be alright.
I don't think it will.
I mean, there's PCs that I play against that can't match mine. You can't really tell the difference. That's fine.
Yeah, but I feel like whether or not you can't tell the difference, people will still complain about it.
Yeah,
it'll be like when a DLC gun comes out for a game. People are like, "Oh, that gun killed me." And even if it's the worst gun in the game, it was DLC, so people are like,
somebody paid for it, so it's good.
That gun, it'll feel like that. I feel like people are paying to be able to beat you.
Yeah.
The people that play competitively like that probably will have.
Will have whatever the best thing they get their hands on. So
I don't know. I still think it's a terrible idea.
It's not the best idea. It's better than the modifiable console idea. So.
Well, that's just a terrible idea.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Well, my biggest problem with all this is they're inching it to make it a little more PC-like.
Oh yeah,
but it gets to the point where you might as well just have a PC if you do it too much.
Yeah, like the Scorpio sounds like a PC.
Yeah, the Scorpio is definitely like when they're like, here's a new console and here's another new console. It's like, ooh, this sounds like NVIDIA announcing video cards.
Sounds like, yeah.
So.
It sounds like a 1080 and a 1080 Ti.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means, but yeah. That's exactly how I feel. There's also some new like trademarks or specs released for a Vita. It seems to have some better. It's almost like a Vita Neo, like a little upgraded Vita. And the rumors are this is the PlayStation Trinity. Oh. So we got the Neo, the Morpheus, and the Trinity. What do we think? Are we getting an upgraded Vita?
Maybe we'll see at this conference.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be cool.
I just don't understand though, like unless it does something
new and different
that like
you feel necessary.
I don't understand the point. Like if it has better Wi-Fi and it's faster,
better Wi-Fi, better screen, better touchpad. Like it's like okay, I don't need all that. This one's fine.
Like your other ones weren't selling.
Yeah.
The only thing I can see them doing is like releasing it like that and being like, not calling it a Vita, call it something else because the Vita name is kind of tainted. Call it something else and be like, this is your remote play device for your PS4. Like it's got the best remote play possible. It works all the time, no matter where you are, type thing. And then be like, it also plays Vita games.
Also plays Vita games.
That wouldn't be bad.
No, it's not a bad idea.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy it, but yeah, I
It depends on what it does, yeah.
I love my Vita TV. Been playing on that a lot. I really like the Vita. My favorite. I really think it might be my favorite console ever, like as a whole, because it can play PlayStation 1 classics and it has some PS2 games on it, and it has some PS3 games on it. It has the Vita library, and you can remote play PS4 and all that stuff. I think just like if you look at it as a whole, it might be my favorite gaming.
The library it has access to is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, I was playing Mega Man X5 on it the other night. Great.
So you name a bad game. Okay.
I played Mega Man Legends on it as well. Mega Man Legends 2. That game's hard.
Still naming bad games.
Really none.
Because it said Persona, you a Mega Man.
I wasn't playing Persona.
Well, you should have been.
Sony will not allow Ark Survival Evolved on their console until it's finished. So basically, Sony, the Ark developers were complaining about Sony, basically saying, we have a running PlayStation 4 release, we're not allowed to publish it because it's not like the completed game. Please, guys, let Sony know that you want it, etc., etc. Basically, short and simple, Sony doesn't allow an early access program on their console, like Microsoft does. I don't either. I think this is great.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I don't think you should be able to put out unfinished early access games, like even
unless
if
it's free. If it's free, that's fine. Let people demo it.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I have here Drawn to Death written down because that's an alpha, and you can play, like you can get a code for it and play it, and it has trophies and stuff, but it's still technically in alpha. But with Ark, yeah, the game's not officially done, and I hate early access. It really hurts like the launch of games.
Yeah.
And I think of things like We Happy Few, which was a game I was super, super, super excited about, and it went into early access a few weeks ago, and I watched some people play it, whatever, and I was like, ooh.
Maybe not. So
yeah, now I'm like, ah. And the game doesn't come out for another year, like officially.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know if I even care anymore. Like I understand it really does help the developers that want to make a good game.
Yeah.
Because they get instant feedback and they can adjust things. Like if you think of something like Minecraft, that was very much like an early access that got better and better over time.
It's like a lot of updates.
Opening the door for that also opens the door for people to be like, here's a half-assed game, thanks for your money, bye, and all problems like that. And
here's our concept, we're halfway there, not giving money.
Yeah, I would rather not have that happen than allow a good game that's not finished on the console. You get to go there when you're finished. I don't finish your game, and then there's no...
Be done with it, show them a finished product, and then they'll let you publish it.
Then there's no problem. I know people love Ark, and it's one of the actually most popular games on the Xbox One. But I'm so against early access in games. And like, yeah, you can give it away for free and all that stuff.
Yeah,
that
you do it for
that
free.
I don't have a problem with. They can't really do that because it does cost them money just to get it on the store and get it certified and all that stuff. But
I like doing that through Steam, though, a little different.
Yeah, but yeah, if your game's free, like Drawn to Death is a free-to-play game.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
Do what you want. If you're gonna let me do it for free, I don't care if it's good. I'll delete it.
Yeah, that's true.
It was worth a shot.
But I think the developer, I mean, they didn't mean anything bad by it, but being like, let Sony know that you want our thing, and I'm like,
Well,
I don't
Sony
think
should let you know they want it finished. So
yeah, just because you happen to have a good game that happens to not be done doesn't mean that you get some sort of special thing because somebody else has one that's 3/4 of the way done and they can't do it. I don't see them doing that. You like Ark? Do you have any opinions on Ark?
No.
Man, that's a game I don't think I'd like. But it's very No Man's Sky though, to be fair, and
A little bit.
I like No Man's Sky. So I might give some of those style games the more like procedural survival stuff a little more of a chance.
I've watched some of it like on Twitch and whatnot. Some of them are interesting. It just depends on the game.
I just feel like No Man's Sky might have opened the door for me to care about that a little more. Especially because I talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago or something.
Handsome.
I play multiplayer games, but I don't play them like competitively or religiously or anything. It's not like all I play.
Yeah.
But they're my favorite time waster. When I have an hour, I'm like, oh, I'm going to hop on Uncharted 4 or Battleborn or whatever. Splatoon.
Play one game in the league.
Yeah, like that style stuff. And I do feel like No Man's Sky is going to be another piece in that where I'm like, I got an hour, I'm going to explore 2 planets.
We'll see if I can find some stuff, yeah?
So. I guess we'll talk about No Man's Sky next.
Okay.
No Man's Sky might be coming to the Xbox One. Basically, Sean Murray was doing an interview, and they were asked, "Hey, is this game coming to Xbox One?" Because thinking back on it, I don't think they have ever made it clear. When it was first announced, I know they said coming to PlayStation first.
For sure,
yeah. But like over time, it changed to say exclusive on it for PlayStation. But they've never come out and been like, "This is 100% a PlayStation exclusive game." Anyway, they asked him. He said, "I'm not," and I quote, "I am not sure I'm allowed to say." Later saying, "I need to be very specific with my words." That's weird.
That's a weird way to say yes or no.
Yeah. So, do we think No Man's Sky is coming to Xbox?
I think they want it to, and he's not sure he can get it yet. So he doesn't know what he can and can't say.
That's
Maybe,
interesting.
I think he
maybe he's negotiating to
He's
try
in the
and get
middle of talking to them, and Sony may let them, but he can't say one way or the other yet.
That might be possible. I didn't even think of it like that. I just think it's weird because I looked up the publishing things, and it does seem like Sony published the game.
Sony put a lot of backing in this game, man.
But Sony also has this weird thing where when somebody makes a game for them like that, like The Order is a good example, or Ratchet and Clank, Sony owns The Order and Ratchet and Clank, not the studio. So I don't think Sony owns No Man's Sky, which would break that idea. Because I know Sunset Overdrive was supposed to be a PlayStation 4 exclusive, and they told them that they needed the IP or they couldn't do it. So Insomniac left and went to Microsoft.
No.
Though this one was a little weirder because I think this was one that they just showed on their stage. It was like kind of whatever they showed on the stage. And let's lock that one down.
Somebody needs to go talk to that guy.
Yeah, I think that's actually what happened. It was a little. I don't think they expected No Man's Sky to be as popular as it is. And I know Sean Murray's tweeted out like, we have more people online than we thought we were going to have. Like they were very overwhelmed, happy, but they were very overwhelmed with their servers and stuff, being like there's more people online than we thought. Yeah.
Plus they have split servers, the PC server separate, so.
Mm-hmm. So I imagine that the sales are quite good for No Man's Sky.
I'm sure they are.
Let's stick with Xbox PC stuff. This time, Quantum Break. It's a game we both recently have dabbled in.
Owned, yeah.
The PC release for Steam is September 14th. It's also coming out at retail. The best way to buy PC games.
Steam?
Retail.
Steam? Because I still have like $112 on there?
It also has this collector's edition. It comes with the 5 game discs, a making of Blu-ray, an art book, a soundtrack, 2 posters, and those handy dandy quick start guides.
Alright.
For $40.
That's not bad.
And I know that because it's on Steam or whatever, you can play it not on like the Windows 10 store or whatever garbage it was on before.
Yeah, that was the problem with that game. Why I didn't buy them.
People really didn't like the PC version of this game.
It didn't work well because of the Xbox Windows 10 thing.
Yeah, people were saying it was very poorly optimized. I don't know what that means.
It was terrible.
But that's what they were saying. And I was like, okay.
Well, it barely ran was the problem. And if it had just been on Steam, like the PC community could have fixed it on their own. Or at least figured out how to do it. But since it was in the Microsoft store, whatever the hell it's called now, like you didn't have access to some of those options and settings. They just don't let you do it. It was weird.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm glad more people are going to get to play it. I was not in any way blown away with the game. I thought it was pretty mediocre.
I still need to try it.
Yeah,
For myself, yeah.
Yeah, you need to let me know if something changes, like halfway through or something happens or whatever, and you think I'd like it. But as it stands, I wanted to play more games to get a better idea of Game of the Year stuff and at least dabble in everything, so I can at least talk about it. And Quantum Break was one I played, I was a couple hours in. I played a little bit after. I watched the TV show, all that stuff, and I was just like,
no.
I was like, this is not that
Good
fun.
concept, but not
And
well.
yeah.
I was gonna play that game. I even installed it and then started playing Halo.
Halo's definitely a better game than Quantum Break.
Seems like it.
So is that.
I do have that too.
I was right about Indigo Prophecy, by the way. It's out on PlayStation.
Oh, is it? No.
I think it's $15.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I'm probably not getting it sometime soon. I guess we could finish with this. Rogue One. We'll talk about that.
Alright.
New trailer dropped. Yay! How do we feel? New Star Wars trailer. People are very excited about this trailer.
It's alright.
Didn't do anything for me.
I liked it. Not my favorite, nothing great, but I liked it.
Very weird.
It didn't show anything. Well, it showed one thing I didn't want to see, but other than that, it didn't.
Yeah, spoilers for people that don't watch trailers before movies, because there's lots of people that do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame
Rogue
you.
One trailer showed Darth Vader.
Yeah, I have no clue why.
I don't know why they did that. Didn't need to do that. Could have just done the breathing at the end of the trailer.
Yeah.
I don't like the main character at all from what I've seen from her.
She seems alright. I don't know much about her.
Yeah, I don't
plan to learn much about her until the movie.
personality. One thing I did like is there's apparently a character in the trailer that's from the animated series. That's just the older version of him.
Oh, like
that's cool.
From Rebels or whatever.
Yeah, he's in it. I thought that was neat. That's probably the coolest thing from the trailer. Other than that, man, I just don't care about it's probably like a 3 on my anticipation scale out of 10.
I'm excited.
I just don't care.
I want more Star Wars. So.
See, I don't. And that's the thing. I'm fine with episode 8 and 9, whatever. But I really feel like they're gonna dilute the Star Wars stuff. And it's gonna start happening with this, and 8's gonna come out. I'm gonna be excited for 8.
Yeah,
but then the
really
next one, whatever their next movie is, if it's the Han Solo
it's either the Han Solo or maybe the Yoda one.
Yeah,
Because
some
that's still
Boba Fett,
happening.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But whenever that one drops, I feel like people are gonna be like, alright.
One
Now,
more.
it's
And then we get episode 9.
It's gonna be like Call of Duty, where people roll their eyes and oh my god.
Yeah, I don't think any movie franchise should be yearly. I think that's too much.
Yeah, I agree.
Even
But I
as
feel
big
like
as
it's going
Star
to be
Wars
Call of
is.
Duty where it's going to be the best selling thing every month that it's out
Every
and all
time it
that
comes
stuff.
out,
But people are going to be like, another one, and then the people that like it are like, yeah, I'm going to go see it because
Why not?
it's a Star Wars.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not really impressed. Once again, I'll see it, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely gonna
I
see
might
it.
not go opening day. I haven't decided yet.
Depends on when we get tickets.
I don't really have an interest in seeing it that badly, but most people that I hang out with probably do.
Yep.
So I'll probably just go.
Me? I want to see it.
Opening day.
Sure, why not?
That's fair.
Fuck it, do it live.
I like going to opening day to movies because people clap. They're excited.
Because everybody gets into it.
Except for Suicide Squad, nobody clapped.
Nothing to clap about now.
Oh, there's some stuff in that movie that people definitely should have been more excited than they were, and I was surprised.
Like when it ended?
I do like the ending credits.
Yeah.
They're very pretty.
I don't know what they are.
You should probably see that movie.
I'm not sad that I missed it.
I'm not sad for you. But, I mean, I know you'll watch it when it comes out.
Yeah, I'd like to watch it, but
Whatever. But
I don't want to spend $15 to go see it. So.
that's fair. I wouldn't stop you if you would. I wouldn't tell you to.
You're not listening to me.
Whatever.
So, yeah.
Yeah, my opinion's literally nothing. I'm speaking to the void right now.
Yeah.
Let's do some questions.
What do you got?
So if you are part of the void that listens to this, you can leave your questions down below, and maybe we'll get to them on the show. Here's a good one. Games we don't like that are super popular. Or super popular, let's do, or super highly
regarded.
Yeah, critically received.
I'm trying to think of one. What's a good one that I always make fun of? There's a stupid Keyblade in it.
That game is fantastic.
Kingdom
You're an
Hearts.
idiot.
Yeah, I give no shits about the Kingdom
You
Hearts
haven't
game.
played it though.
I don't care. I've seen them play and I just don't care.
The problem is, if you were to play it, you would hate it because it takes. It's kind of
12
like
hours to
Persona.
get
Yeah, it takes if you know what you're doing, it's not that bad. But if you don't know what you're doing, it takes 5 or 6 hours before the game starts.
What if you don't know what you're doing and you don't want to be there?
Yeah, that's no good.
Yeah, alright then.
It's like Adam Sessler when he played it.
Exactly.
What's happening?
It's like, what is this stupidity? Why are there Disney characters in my game? What is this? No desire to touch those games. A lot of people want me to play them, and I just like, no, I'm not doing it.
I'm gonna get you to play.
Somebody offered me money to play it yesterday. I'm like, no, I don't want to.
That's so depressing, and they're so good.
I was like, I even have one of them, purely by accident, and I don't want to play it.
You're just going through yourself. I didn't want this.
1.5, son of them.
I didn't agree to this.
No. You're supposed to give me the fighting games. What is this?
For me, I guess the BioWare ones are probably the best example. Like, I hate the go-to-war combat and everything, even though I'm interested in the story.
It's just turn-based combat.
Yeah, I'm just not.
It's a slightly faster pace.
I'm not a big fan of those. Another one for me is the whole StarCraft, like World of Warcraft, anything in that universe or
StarCraft is
really
sweet.
anything by Blizzard.
StarCraft is sweet.
Yeah,
Overwatch is sweet.
okay.
Hearthstone's alright if you're into card games.
That's the one I'm most interested out of all.
It's alright. I'll give it an alright. That's all I got. I'm not playing WoW. I don't care about Diablo. That's one I don't care about Diablo.
Diablo, yeah. None of the Blizzard games. Blizzard and Bethesda are like a huge hole in my catalog that I just don't care for.
Overwatch is sweet. I like Overwatch.
Whatever. Yeah.
You're gonna have fun.
Yeah. Tracer's cool.
What was another one I thought of the other day? Fallout.
That's a good one, yeah.
Couldn't really get into the I tried Fallout 3 a couple times, and that game was boring to me. I couldn't get behind it.
I agree.
Like, I don't want to play this. I have no desire to
I
play
completely
this.
agree. That's another one for me. I'm just like,
Like the Elder Scrolls, those were boring to me also.
yeah.
I tried Morrowind 3, like 3 or 4, one of those. And I was just like, I don't want to do that.
I played that game. I don't know if I ever told the story. I played that game.
No, I tried 3 and 4.
I went into a town. There's guards there or whatever that are way higher lives, level 2 or something.
Did you hit one with a sword?
I shot him with an arrow, and I killed him. I stood on a roof or somewhere where he couldn't get me, and he was running at me. It probably took me 45 minutes. I killed this guy. I was so proud of myself. And I ran up. I was like, oh, I'm going to get all his loot. And I pick it all up, and it goes, too heavy. You can't walk. I was like, you are fucking kidding me. So I like dropped the loot and took a step and picked it back up and dropped it and took a step and picked it back up and brought it all the way to the bank. I'm like, this is the worst game ever.
That's special. Yeah, I think it was Morrowind, the third one. I somehow got a scroll that let me jump really high. Like, that's awesome. I jumped and I landed and died. You jump so high I died. I was like, well, this is fucking stupid. What's the point of this? I just cut the game off. Like, I'm done with this. That's stupid.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, the Pokemons, but I haven't actually sat down.
This is the guy in the Team Instinct shirt.
Yeah, I played the good Pokemon
That's a
game.
completely different experience.
I played the good Pokemon game. Pokemon's. Oh, the Grand Theft Autos is another. Probably my last one.
Those are just fun.
Yeah, I like Grand Theft Auto games. I like playing them and going around killing people, taking cars, driving off buildings, whatever.
It's a good time waster.
I absolutely hate the stories and doing the story missions. I think they're awful. I think they're super boring. I think they're dumb and generic. And there's tons of people that love the story stuff for Grand Theft Auto, and I'm just like, damn, this sucks.
Only one of them I've really ever gotten into the story of.
It's my least favorite one.
San Andreas.
Yeah, that's
my favorite Grand Theft.
I think it's the second mission of the game with the bicycle. You have to like
You gotta pedal.
this is awful. And I went to the side or whatever, and it fails you, and you can't do anything. And I literally took the game out and returned it that day. I was like, I hate this.
That's my favorite Grand Theft
I'm so done with this.
Easily my favorite Grand Theft Auto.
I like Vice City.
Vice City is very good. That's probably my second favorite.
Vice City is held up a lot by its soundtrack, but
Well, yeah.
I think Vice
San
City
Andreas has a good soundtrack also, but it's no Vice City soundtrack.
it's another game you can play on Vita.
What?
Vice City and San Andreas. I played this. I have Vice
I
City.
have San Andreas on like 360. I think.
I have San Andreas on my Xbox because it was $1 store. So
Did you get like the 2-pack or whatever, or did you just get San Andreas?
no, it was just San Andreas. I bought.
The 2-pack was 3 in Vice City that I used to have. When they
Oh yeah,
when
yeah,
they
yeah.
first came to Xbox.
I bought Vice City and San Andreas for $2 for both of them
Yeah.
at a store somewhere. I was like, this is a good deal.
That was a good deal, yeah.
It's like all of them came for $1. Moving on. Speaking of Pokemon,
Uh-huh.
if you could have a Pokemon as a pet, what Pokemon would it be?
Dragonite, done.
Really?
Oh, he's my favorite by far. He's a big orange dragon. Who doesn't want a big orange dragon? I could pet him and ride him, it'd be awesome.
That's not a bad answer. See,
I mean, I've thought about this before.
I could have a Mr. Mime.
You're an idiot.
He can clean the house. That's what they're good for, right?
Oh, Jesus.
What?
Nothing.
I like Mr. Mime.
I hate you and everything you stand
Mr.
for.
Mime's great. I would probably pick Alakazam though, just because they have
Mustache.
That is not the reason. It helps, but it's not the reason. They have a psychic link or whatever,
Yeah.
so you can tell them what to do.
Hey, go give me some
And
coffee.
listen, you don't even need to talk.
Go give me some coffee.
I think that's a really cool one.
And float it in here. Use your telekinesis.
And I'm gonna pick one more.
mean,
I can just pick a cute one.
a little growl.
I'll pick a Chansey.
A little growl would be cool.
I'll pick a
I
Chansey.
say go light the fire. And you petting.
If I get hurt, Chansey can heal me.
Yeah, she's not the eggs at you. It's an egg bomb. It's not good for you.
I get healed by a Chansey.
Oh god.
They work at the hospital.
They work at the hospital.
Don't they?
The Poke Center?
Yeah.
Her Nurse Joy.
Her cousin, Nurse Joy.
Wow, Nurse Joy's not a Pokemon. Although Nurse Joy.
No, every time they meet her, they're like, oh,
Yeah,
it's
Nurse
Nurse
Joy's
Joy.
cousin
And she's
is a
like,
Nurse
that's
Joy.
my cousin.
That one's my sister.
That's
That
my
was-
sister, yeah. That's the new Pokemon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
play my Pokemon though.
Yeah, you're an idiot. I want to pet Dragonite.
That was your...
At least you put the top on it.
Yeah, that's good. That would have been awful.
I don't care.
Man, I'm having a really rough day. It's early too. I'm not used to being up at this time.
Early?
Yeah, man.
It's not early.
It's like 11 a.m. It's early.
Oh my god.
We normally film early.
We're like 12 hours early.
Next question. This one pertains to No Man's Sky, so I thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
How much hype is too much? And how much does it hurt a game when it comes out?
No Man's Sky's hype was too much. 100%.
And I don't understand why. Because I saw that game and I was like, oh, you get to explore and find planets. And they're like, is there multiplayer? And he's like, it's not really a
I don't
multiplayer
know.
game.
I can't say. Not
Like
really.
that, his response was, it's not really a multiplayer game. Don't get this game for multiplayer. And then the first day it was out, people were like, you can't play with your friends. I'm like,
I've been telling you that for 2 years.
months. Like, yeah,
on.
you can't play with your friends. This is a single player game. It's like Dark Souls or whatever. It's a single player game that's affected by other players.
And you're on the same server. That's about it.
But like, you're not playing with them.
Yeah.
All right.
There's no co-oping. There's like, that's not the point of the game.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I feel like it's just people, and I feel like Facebook's a big problem with this.
Well-
People taking like snippets of the game and putting them on Facebook with like the text over it, and be like, you can this many planets in the game.
18
You can
points.
explore whatever. You can feed animal and like just these little bullet points. And people read the bullet points and they're like, this is awesome, but they don't see it like as a whole and what's
They
actually
don't realize
happening.
what you're doing. Yeah.
And then they play the game and they're like, this isn't what I thought it would be. It's not really miscommunication because I feel like they communicated it
I
fine.
feel everything he said is exactly what I expected it to be.
I feel like it's
Understood.
not. It's just
To a degree.
it's not reported correctly.
Well, it's
from like people want clicks and articles and on their articles and everything,
yeah.
so they write like fluff pieces about what he's saying. When really, yeah, the game is 100% about exploring and all that stuff. But there's plenty of other games that this hurt. Mighty Number 9 is a big one. That Kickstarter was huge.
Yeah.
People lost their minds
It's
for that
6 years
Kickstarter.
ago when I was.
And then yeah, they delay it, and people were up here. That's the problem. They were up here, and then when they delay something, they delay something that's here. It's like this. When they delay something that's up here, it goes.
It's one.
It falls
yeah.
really far.
It's not good for it.
And I actually think another one that kind of hurt it was Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just because they're like, oh, it's Kojima's last game, and there's this, and you can do all this stuff, and then when you get it, it was kind of a lot like No Man's Sky, where that one in particular, I thought you'd be able to do more than you can, and you can, but it takes a really long time to unlock the stuff to
You
do
gotta
all
get
that,
to it, yeah.
where it's to the point where I'm like, I can't spend 40 hours doing this to get a black hole that sucks people up. I just want the black hole.
We just want to do it.
So yeah, that's another one that was hurt my head. But do you think it hurts review scores?
Sometimes.
I think it really hurt No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Like people are giving that like 5s and 6s, and I can see that like depending on their
If that's not your
experience.
style of game, yeah, it's going to be boring to you.
Right.
Very much so.
But I do feel like people thought that game was something it's not. And
Yeah.
well, like I said before, I don't really get that. The outlash people had when two players like met each other and they couldn't see each other, but they were in different time. Like they were on the same planet in the same spot, but it was day for somebody and it was night for another person.
Yeah.
And they're like, they can't see each other. I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's a reason.
Yeah, that's intentional. Most likely intentional.
But
Because just one of them's going to kill the other.
well, yeah, I would. The thing about that, and I don't know what's at the center of the galaxy or universe yet because I haven't got there. But everybody's being funneled to one spot. So if you can see
You're
each other and
bound to
everything,
run, yeah.
you're bound to at some point. Unless I was talking with my friend about it over the chat. That's a great game to play like with chat because you get to describe what you're seeing and your experiences are so different.
The hell are you at?
But unless the center, like let's say this whole thing right here is the whole galaxy. Unless the center of it's like this big, so that you wouldn't meet that many people. But if it's as teeny as I think it is, you would because they'd be funneled so close. But if the center is actually like huge,
The center's still just like.
then you wouldn't run into people, which is what they said would probably like they didn't think people would meet, and people met on the first day, and he tweeted out and he was like, I did not expect that.
It's like that's surprising, yeah.
Yeah. But they also were having like server problems that day and stuff. And I don't know if that's the reason that they couldn't see each other. I think you could see each other.
I think at some point you can, yeah.
I'm curious as to what you look like if you do.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that earlier. I was like, I'll say that for later. Like, what does my guy look like?
I imagine he just looks
like a spacesuit.
I imagine he looks similar to that alien race in the game that you met.
With the Daft Punk helmet.
Yes.
That's
I imagine that's a.
Yeah. Because all you see is his gun.
Right. Yeah. You don't even see hands or anything. I don't think. You just see the tip of the gun. Really.
You see the gun, yeah. The mining laser that also kills things.
Damn.
Wonderful.
But yeah, the height problem is something that's been like even just little. It's not really littler, but like Batman, Arkham Knight, people have Uncharted 4. Yeah. People's expectations for the games are not realistic.
No,
and it really hurts them. I actually feel like I'm pretty good at being tempered.
That's why I love the Fallout 4 release so much. Like we're finally going to show you this game. You're getting it in a couple months.
Yeah, you don't have time.
You don't have time to freak out.
Yeah,
there's not going to be a lot of rumors that you're getting the game soon.
That's true. Rumors really hurt it too.
Yeah, rumors are.
We'll see with Watch Dogs. I feel like Watch Dogs, because they did that with Watch Dogs 2. Watch Dogs 1 was terrible. Everybody thought it was that was a game where everybody was like, this is next gen. And I'm like, it's on the PlayStation 3. It is not next gen.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally not even the definition of next gen. But people went crazy for that game and they were super disappointed. And I was looking through it, like, from the outside, being like, that game doesn't look good, and it came out and it was mediocre, and I'm like, yeah, it looked mediocre this whole time. And Watch Dogs 2, while I still think it looks mediocre, at least they didn't like drag this one out. It's coming out, they just announced it, whatever, and I'm interested to see people's perspective on Watch Dogs 2.
See if it gets a little bit better reception.
Yeah.
Although Watch Dogs 1's not terrible. It had some fun moments.
Yeah.
The driving in the game is terrible. It doesn't work. Awful.
Isn't it really floaty or slippery or something?
Yes, all the above. You can like knock the police cars up in the air and then they just land on the wheel and keep coming. It's like, how the fuck did you survive that? Much less keep driving. Doesn't make
They had somewhere to be, man.
I guess. Now the Mako Mass Effect one of the few people, I loved it. That was fantastic. I just turn on some music and I drive around.
You're an idiot.
Drive up mountains and shit.
You're an idiot.
I managed to get it stuck once, which was almost impossible. It has jump jets on it. On the way.
Yeah, the worst.
It's great. I miss the Mako.
Let's talk about game releases.
Okay. What do you got?
On August.
You might fall for it.
So what games are coming out?
We get one game on August 15th. Interstellar Logistics for the PC.
Off the hit Christopher Nolan movie.
Interstellar Logistics. Yeah. Alright. Action puzzle game where you shoot objects from point A to point B using the gravity of planets, stars, and black holes. You gotta hit certain points along the way. So it sounds like a physics puzzle game.
Yeah.
August 16th. Adventure Capitalist for the PS4. Free on the PlayStation Store. Game is a rags to riches simulation where you use various investment schemes to earn as much money as you can. Sounds like your kind of game. Bank Limit Advanced Battle Racing. Rift Vive PC. First-person hyper racing shooter akin to Wipeout. Successful Steam Greenlight campaign.
I feel like we get a game every week that's akin to Wipeout.
I've said that a lot, yeah.
Yeah, that's just Garrett does the right favorite phrase. Akin to Wipeout.
I think he gets them off of Steam sometimes or wherever he puts. Just a VR racing game, sounds like. Bound for the PS4. You know anyone with it?
No.
I don't know, it just seems it's got the name Bound. I figured you knew it was.
I know the name.
Yeah. So the write-up from the developer's studio website. Bound transports you into a beautiful, fantastical world that exists in the mind of a woman revisiting the memories of her childhood. Use dance moves to traverse vast environments filled with platforming challenges. As the game progresses, the introspective story unfolds through powerful metaphor and imagery, adding emotional depth to the protagonist's journey.
This sounds conceited as all hell.
Yeah.
I'd have to see it to
Believe it.
Yeah, I would have to see it to see if it's something that I'd want to play. It sounds interesting, but it also sounds like they're like, Journey and Flower and all these really good games. This is just like that, man. And I hope
This is what we're doing here.
So, I'll keep an eye out on that.
Death Stare for the PC. A 4-player co-op stair climbing game. The player in last place gets to use weapons to stop the other 3 players ahead of him. It's a real thing.
That actually sounds great, except it's on PC.
Yeah, I don't. Unless it's like online co-op, which is not nearly as fun. This would be a great couch co-op game.
It sounds like it. And it's only,
if it
only
works,
says PC?
Yeah. If it works the way I think it works, it would be a great couch co-op game.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Grow Up. Xbone, PS4, PC. Follow-up to Grow Home.
Mm-hmm.
Bud the robot is back to search open world for pieces of his missing spacecraft.
It's a cute little robot.
I don't know him.
I have the first one.
You Grow Home?
Yes.
Is that the first one?
You should have it too. It was a free plus game.
That doesn't mean I have it.
That's true. You don't download
I'm
anything.
terrible at downloading things.
I don't know why.
It takes time and effort.
2 minutes maybe.
I don't have 2 minutes. Inversus, PS4, PC. Action strategy game where you battle the computer or other players for control of an ever-changing black and white board. Firing your weapon can block opposing shots and create new areas on the board. I don't know what's going on there.
It sounds like a bunch of gibberish.
So it's August 18th. Deus Ex Go. It makes me think Pokemon Go, because it says iOS and Android. No, it's a turn-based puzzle board game.
Yeah, it's
based on Deus Ex.
Yeah, it's part of their Go series. They did Tomb Raider Go. They did, what was the other one?
Pokemon Go?
No.
Digimon Go?
God damn it, no. They're a really popular one. Hitman Go. They did Hitman Go and all that stuff.
See, that sounds like fun.
People really like those games. I haven't played one, but people love those games.
Okay.
They're supposed to be very, very, very good.
I've never played a phone game that I love, but
You can play it on Vita, I think. I mean, that might be a lie.
yeah, most of the things
You can play it on PS4, I know that.
Oh, really? Aklos, PC, 2D action and strategy game where you control a mob of angry people during ancient Greece, doing their best to fight against angry gods.
I'd rather play a god.
I'd rather play a god than
fighting
wiping
against
out mobs
angry
of
people.
Now look at those angry people. August 19th, we get F1 2016, Xbone, PS4, PC, official Formula 1 racing game for the year. Oh god, I forgot this was a game. Metroid Prime Federation Force for the 3DS.
God, me too.
Cooperative first-person shooter based on the Metroid Prime games.
I wonder how that game's gonna do,
Terribly.
critically and commercially.
Terribly and terribly.
Do you honestly think so?
Yeah, I completely forgot that was even a thing.
I think so too.
Yikes. Stardust
Metroid.
Yeah, you make a real Metroid. You can talk to me. Stardust Galaxy Warriors Stellar Climax, PC. Definitive edition of Stardust Galaxy Warriors, an arcade mech shooter released last fall. New edition adds new characters to play as well as a new game plus mode and improved graphics. Style savvy, fashion forward for the 3DS. It just says Game of the Year. Japanese fashion sim. Garrett's alright.
That's pretty good.
Game of the Year.
Alright, let's move on to the unpopular opinion. This is part of the show where you can leave your unpopular gaming opinion or nerdy opinion down below in a paragraph or so, and we may get to it on the show. I think what I'm going to start doing is just put a bowl here, write some unpopular opinions that I see whenever, throw them in the bowl, and when we get to this segment of the show, we'll pull one out, we'll read it, go over it, or maybe we'll take another one out if it was short, maybe, you know. So it'll be more of a free flow kind of thing.
Fair enough.
But for this one, Doo-Doo Brown.
Excellent.
Unlocks have ruined gaming you should be able to jump into a game without and have access to everything in that game mode or that map has to offer. How do you feel about having unlocks in video games?
It depends on the game and the way they do it.
I agree. My first note here is fighting games, and that's the hardest one for me because
If it's a fighting game, I just want everything up front.
I think I do, but then when it gives me that, I don't like it.
And you don't have anything to fight for.
Yeah, like I loved Tekken Tag Tournament, and you unlock all the characters, and like you beat the story mode, and you get this character, and you got to beat him on hard, and you get this character, and all that stuff.
I don't like
And
the
then,
ones
like-
that make you do it certain ways. The ones where it's just like fight 10 times to get a character.
I like having two paths. Like
Now, if you have two
Smash, I think does it really well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can play X amount of matches and get it, or you can do like single player-y stuff and get it.
Because one may be faster than the other, but one's definitely easier than the other.
Yeah, and one is just you're playing it as a party game, and it's like, oh yeah.
When unlocked, whoever. Yeah.
Yeah, for fighting games, it's really tough for me because I love Tekken Tag. It's one of my favorite fighting games ever. But Tekken Tag 2, I don't like as much. And I honestly think it has to do with the fact that Tekken Tag 2, you have all the characters at the start, and I didn't feel like I even really had to learn the game. I just open the game, I play as the character that I know from Tekken 6, and that was it. And I didn't put that much time into it. I like having the unlock systems in fighting games, and I was going to bring up Smash because I think that's the best one. When you're playing online, it makes it a little awkward, but like, you don't play fighting games online. Like, fighting games online is supposed to be like a fun pastime thing. You're not competitively playing fighting games online because there's so much lag and everything.
You're not. Some people are.
Not really. I mean, they'll play online, but like, they don't play like tournaments and all that stuff is always in person.
Yeah, you have
like,
to do that in person.
locally. And your timing and hit stuff online is different than offline, to the point where some games, like Dead or Alive, you can literally set how much of a lag you want, like when you're playing or couch, so it emulates playing online.
So it feels the same, yeah.
Which is really weird.
Makes sense, but it's kind of awkward.
But either way, like if somebody has a character and you can unlock it in the game, I don't typically feel like I'm cheated because I can unlock that.
It's like, well, if I'd taken the time to do it, I'd have them also.
And I would just be better at the game for it.
Yeah.
An example I can think of is Ragnarok in Megasol. I beat the story because I wanted Ragnarok.
Yeah,
and then I was like, this is very rewarding to get to play as Ragnarok and be able to go into games and people go, oh, he is Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's cool.
Ragnarok and what was the other one, Ymir? Something like that?
Yeah.
That was usually the one I used. They're similar.
Another, sticking with the fighting games, my comparison between Smash Brothers and PlayStation All-Stars, where at the last minute they took out the unlocks from PlayStation All-Stars. You were supposed to unlock characters and they changed it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was a bad move because that's what gets people, like, even if people aren't a huge fan of the game, they're like, oh, it's okay, whatever. When you start unlocking characters and stuff, at least it gets them to want to unlock characters. If you give them their favorite character from the start and they just start the game and they have it, they're less likely to keep playing the game, like get hooked by it. I feel like.
You already get what you're looking for. You just play a couple hours and
yeah. So fighting games, it's weird. I really like unlocks in fighting games. I actually really like the unlocks in Overwatch. My favorite being the voice clips. I think that's really
those are cool. Those don't really affect gameplay though.
Correct. No. Yeah.
Which I like. They're perfectly fine.
I just think that that's a cool unlock.
Yeah, different voice clips.
It's not something
different iterations and stuff. Yeah, that's fair.
There's other games, like racing games and stuff, it's a little weird, but almost all racing games have unlocks.
Usually they do like, their cars are usually like in groups or something like that. You go from one group to the next.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And it makes you start on the slow car so you learn the game, you get better and they get faster. Kind of
or if you're me, you play once, you're like, this seems awful.
Yeah, you're terrible.
They add longevity to the game. They add you a reason to do it. Now, it's a little different nowadays because before, when we didn't have online, like PlayStation 2 days and stuff, they were a reason to keep playing the game.
Yeah. They had to replay.
The Nintendo and Super Nintendo games were just hard, and that's what made the game last. I feel like PS2, it was like Easter eggs, unlocks, and that like schoolyard. Oh, if you do this, and then you do this, you get to play as a devil in this game. I feel like that's what made the games.
Yeah. Our big thing was like finding the skulls in Halo.
Yeah, like I love those stories. And then with the PS3 and PS4, it's online play. Like that's what people look for to make the game last longer and give them. So that does sort of negate unlocks a little bit, but I still, like I said, in certain genres, I'd rather have unlocks. And then the final note that I have down here for this is just DLC. If there would have been unlocks, it's kind of DLC now, as far as like costumes and all that stuff goes. Maybe not like levels, though. Some games do have unlockable levels.
Or you talking about single player? Yeah.
Yeah, but typically the unlock stuff would just be DLC now because they can. That's really
they can charge for it and people pay for it.
So if you had to choose one, just rounding out this discussion, to never have unlocks in a game again, everything's unlocked for you, or every game has unlocks, which would you pick?
That's a terrible decision.
Yeah.
I go no unlocks.
Okay, really?
Yeah. Because I don't play fighting games enough to unlock everything in them, almost ever. Like even Smash, I don't think I've unlocked everything in.
I always unlock everything.
No, I don't play enough.
That's my favorite part of Smash, is when I get a new Smash, I'm like, time to unlock all the characters in one day.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part.
Enough.
Put it on one life each, make it so. One life each. Put it on one life each.
300%.
Make it so.
Knock 'em off.
Yeah.
Keep going.
That's basically it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like everybody.
Plus, I don't like unlocks and like shooters. I usually just like to have everything.
I really like unlockable levels.
Levels are fine.
I think that's cool. Unlockable guns. The other thing is, for couch co-op, if I don't have it, you don't have it, and I feel like that's fine.
That's fine.
It doesn't happen so much now because you have profiles that you log into, and it doesn't really work like that. Even thinking something like Battleborn, like we play Battleborn split screen, and you have like 8 characters, and I have all of them. I'm like, that kind of sucks.
That account has nothing on it. It's just like, wow.
So yeah, I like it when you have what everybody, like whoever has the most stuff, that would be what everybody can get them from. I would personally pick unlocks in every game because I do think it adds to how long the game lasts, and just having an unlock makes people look at your character and look at you differently. The best example that I can think of off the top is the Ragnarok.
Oh yeah.
Like when you entered the lobby, that was like a big deal.
The first time I ran into that thing, I was like, holy crap, what is that?
Yeah.
And what is it doing to me with this lava? Oh my god.
I love those.
I need this. Like, how did you get that? Oh, you gotta be single player. I guess I'm gonna sign out and go play single player.
Yeah, another huge one, before we go, World at War with the Zombies mode.
Yeah.
That was an unlock.
Yeah.
And then I unlocked it. And then they made it free the next week. I was super pissed.
See, I like the World at War campaign enough where I beat it fairly early.
You just like, what was it, Kiefer Sutherland?
I just like Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah.
And World War II setting. So I'm a sucker for a World War II setting. So.
You excited about this new Nolan movie? Have you seen the trailer?
Has he done anything lately that I care about?
All right, thank you so much for watching the Press X podcast. Like I said before, if you want your unpopular opinion in whatever is going to be here,
It's blue cut.
it might actually be
It's
just
not,
the energy.
It's not big enough.
It's big enough.
No comment.
If you want your unpopular opinion read on the show, go ahead and leave it down below, and hopefully we will get to it. Thank you so much for being here, Kellen.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah.